Good morning, everyone. In 1966, on December 18th, 38 million people tuned in to CBS to watch the birth of a holiday tradition, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Scrooge-type tale about a misfit born with a heart 2 sizes too small, who ends up having an aha moment, his faith in humanity redeemed, his purpose restored. And I thought, because my topic today is the heart of a leader, I thought, I've got to do the Grinch. I mean, it's a fabulous story. He has this great awakening, this moment of enlightenment, and he feels, and suddenly in that moment, his heart grows 3 sizes. And then what does he do? He brings all the toys back. He gets celebrated for it. He sits at the head of the table. He carves the roast beast. He's a leader. So I thought, perfect. On top of that, my most favorite movie of all time. And I love the Jim Carrey version as well. You know, it's funny that sometimes when you head in one direction, something will happen, take you off track, and you're not expecting it. And it happens every year when we work on these topics that we're given from Dan. He assigns us our topics. And we hash it out as a group because this comes very early in the year when we start to work on the Day of Hope and Leadership. And we have all these meetings and we start to dig in and we really want to refine what we're talking about. And as we explore and discover and study and research, these moments happen where we go, wow, I thought I was going down this path. The Grinch, a who that isn't really a who restores his life, turns it all around, 180 degrees. And instead, you find that you're going down somewhere else as you do your research. And that's what happened. I found out a gift, a nugget, a treasure, something priceless to me because I was researching about the Grinch. I found out that the co-producer and director of the original animated film was none other than Chuck Jones. Now, if you're a kid from the 60s like me, you grew up with the name Chuck Jones flashed on all your favorite Saturday morning cartoons on the title runs. Do you remember Bugs Bunny? Wile E. Coyote? My personal favorite, Marvin the Martian? Porky Pig? All the Looney Tunes cast were all the serious genius brainchild of Chuck Jones. In a 60-year career, he has 300 animated film credits to his name. Very impressive. Now there's a leader. So I could talk about his impressive body of work, and it would be right on track, but I'm actually not going to. I want to tell you about something that he said, because this goes to the heart of every leader. This is going to blow your mind, because it did me. He was speaking at the 30th anniversary of How the Grinch Stole Christmas at some big gala down in Hollywood. And he said this. He said, when you work, only the love should show, not the work. When you work, only the love should show, not the work. Now, I could never, ever have come up with so concisely, so precisely, so perfectly my personal belief system on leadership and what we are meant to do in our community, how we're supposed to live every day, and what our purpose is. But those words are perfect, and it's become my mantra. And the funny thing is, would I have found it, except for preparing for today, except for my green friend, the Grinch? It's pretty neat. So if we're going to talk about the heart today, we have to start with our physical heart. So, in 1952, the first successful open heart procedure took place. And a little bit later in my talk today, we are going to make history again, because we're going to do a mass open heart procedure right here in this room. And it's going to be successful, I promise you. But that's a little later. But for right now, play with me, will you? Take one hand and clasp your other hand together. And take a look. That's the size of the average adult heart. It beats 115,000 times a day. It pumps 2,000 gallons of blood a day. It's a muscle. It needs to be exercised and strengthened. A 2016 Heart and Stroke Foundation press release reported that about 1 million Canadians have heart disease. I'm no expert, but I think the number's more 20 or 30 times that number. But then, I'm not talking about this heart anymore. I'm talking about that other heart that we have. That other heart is that place where our truth resides. It's the conglomeration of your thoughts, your feelings, your perspective, your emotions, what you believe, what your values are. We're talking about that heart. That heart is very vulnerable, incredibly subjective. We hide it. We need to. Out of the issues of the heart, right? We hear the good book saying, out of the heart flows the issues of life. And because our truth is there, we hide it, because if we let people see our hearts, maybe sometimes they wouldn't like us so much anymore. Maybe that would be with good reason. I know that's the case with me. So we play small and safe. Little, small, safe lives. Don't exercise our hearts too much, because they don't exercise our possibilities and our capabilities and our talents and our gifts very much. And our heart suffers for this lack of exercise. For many of you, if you'll be honest with yourself, like I have to be, you've been suffering from this kind of heart disease for all your life, and it's gone undetected. Today we're going to cure it. What has this all to do with leadership? Why is she standing there? She's obviously not a brain surgeon or a heart surgeon. Why is she standing there talking about all this stuff when we're here for leadership? Well, you'll see on my book list only one book, Enemies of the Heart by Andy Stanley. And Andy Stanley sums this up so well. He says, everything intersects the crossroads of our hearts. Everything you do is colored by the condition of your heart. And what that means is, whatever your title is, whatever your net worth is or isn't, whatever your social media, Twitter, hashtag, Facebook, Instagram cover says you are, none of that really matters until you take a look at the condition of your heart, because it will color every judgment you ever make. My first open heart procedure was in 2009, when my husband and I bought a failing real estate company and rebranded it Remax Jazz. Now, up to that point, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Noel. Noel had a favorite song, Me, 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 Me. And she played it on her favorite radio station every day, WIIFM. Anyone know what WIIFM stands for? Yeah, shout it out. What's in it for me? It was my life, my friends, my family, my success, my business, my clients, my stuff, and stuff had me. Joyce Meyer has this wonderful saying. She says, it's okay to have nice things, just make sure the nice things don't have you. Nice things had me. It was always the next brightest, shiniest thing trying to fill that void that stuff could never fill. But I didn't know that. I was just carrying on with my life. And all of a sudden, there's 53 others, 53 agents and staff that I am now responsible to and for. Other people with different needs, different values, different beliefs, different challenges, different likes and dislikes, different than mine. I had a decision to make. Was I going to be the center of their universe and have them all revolve around me? Or was I going to lead like a real leader? A leader who serves, who they become the universe for, and I revolve around them. So the pain he goes through as he realizes his heart's growing, I can relate to that pain because I had to go through that. I had to grow up emotionally, become an adult, become a responsible person, and start thinking about others. It's an important journey. What it does for you when you start and make that decision to lead by being last, by serving, by encouraging and never demeaning, by giving before you ever take, what it does for you is it fills that void I was talking about, because you realize that unconditional love is the secret weapon of success. It's the byproduct. Zig Ziglar says it best. He says, help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. It's true. You have to come at it with a very authentic heart, but it's true. And what happened to me? Well, I grew. My capacity for others grew. My ability to serve people grew. My vision grew. And my company grew. In 2014, I founded a philanthropic umbrella called WeMax Children's Charities. I now had 200 people under us, and they were the best people on the planet. They were so loving and giving. And I wanted to give them a platform that they could really get that contagious action feeling from. So we decided that we would start with buying life-saving equipment for our neonatal unit here in Oshawa. And that's what we did. And I set a 5-year goal to raise $125,000. And we did it in under 2 years. Buying life-saving equipment that they could feel, touch, experience, know that it's being put to work. Not just writing a check, not that there's anything wrong with that, but we wanted to have them have that contagious feeling. And it worked. Well, we just took off like wildfire then. Now we've committed another $125,000 to Hearth Place Cancer Support Center, the only one of its kind from Toronto to Ottawa, where 100% of the services rendered to our community are free for the users. Over 4,000 people walk through their doors a year, and it's completely unfunded by the government. So we've stepped up, and we're supporting the pediatric unit there. We've done all kinds of good things, and my agents have come to me with more and more ideas of what they want to do, and can we do this, and let's champion that. And it's just bred a life of its own, all because one little girl let her heart grow. I mean, my heart was full, don't get me wrong, it was full of me. But through this process, it became full of others. And that would be great. That could be the end of my talk. We could finish right there. You say, yeah, great work, all right. But this is not about me, and it's not a brag session. It's about my people, what they've done, and what we can do, what you can do. What I want to share with you is that your heart, as it grows, it magnifies some things that are in there that maybe shouldn't be in there. And Andy Stanley, again in his book, identifies 4 main contributors, poisons, whatever you want to call them, that cause heart disease of this other heart of ours. And they are guilt, greed, jealousy, and anger. And you may not want to admit that you struggle with them, but I can tell you that I most certainly do. The nice thing is once you're aware that they're there, you can start to root them out. But we have to be aware that they're there. And every day is a battle to become the person that you want to be. And when we're aware that those enemies are against us, at least we can do something to block them from getting further into us and really causing a lot of serious damage to our heart. The nice thing is there's one thing that works beyond all other things to uproot jealousy, greed, anger, and guilt out of your life, and it's generosity. Now, people automatically think generosity and finances, and I totally want you to be there, absolutely, because it does have to go to your pocketbook, no question. But I'm talking about generosity in your mood, in your spirit, in your thoughts, in your words, in your deeds. Generosity is the number one cure against those four enemies. So I want to give you some ideas today on things that I started doing because of this day of hope and leadership. Because if you're going to walk the walk and talk the talk, right, you better be experimenting with this stuff and trying it out. So recently, when someone lets me in traffic, I'm getting them a crazy big wave. Now, this is a free thing that we can do to protect our hearts from anger and road rage, and also gift someone else with a smile, right? Can you imagine what would happen if every time someone let someone in traffic, that we would roll down the window and stick our arm out and give them the big silly wave and the big happy smile, or in the rearview mirror, thank you! You just made their day for free. How about when we're approaching a door? What if we just paused for a moment and held the door for somebody else? These are societal norms, I know. But you know what? We're all so busy in our lives. And our faces are down here, looking at our phones. If we just lift our heads up and see others, we can step back and get that door for people. And you know what? If you're a recipient of that, you can say thank you audibly. It's a wonderful thing. I love this phenomenon of the elevator. Dan touched on it earlier. I actually did it this morning. I got on the elevator. There's 3 other gentlemen on the elevator this morning, and I said, "Good morning." It's crazy lady. And there's nothing. Nothing. That was what I got grunts. So then, doors opening, and I said, "Have a great day." And they're like, "Yeah, you too." Okay, I got to practice what I preach. But what I can't get over, it doesn't matter if one person goes on the elevator or 20. It's a 6x8 space. We automatically stand there, shrink into ourselves. Like, I just want to go invisible. I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with another soul. Doesn't matter. If a sketch artist told me I had to tell them exactly what that person looked like, I could do it to a T, right? But we don't speak. Go out on a limb, be a crazy rebel, come to my world, and start talking to people on the elevator. Mention the weather. Have a nice day. How about them Jays? Maybe not so much. Anyway, think of something happy. Touch their hearts. Give a compliment. Come on. You are eyeing up those shoes. I am eyeing up those shoes. Why not tell her shoes are great? Why not just reach out and say something while you're standing in that enclosure? If there were aliens, I'm sure they would think, this is one of those weird human things. They're fine until they get into the little square box and they don't know what I'm talking about. So many ideas. I got a great investment for you. It's $0.25. It's going to cost you $0.25. Start leaving your $0.25 in the grocery cart. Phenomenal thing to do. It pays you back tenfold. You can see the people when they approach the cart. It's so much fun to sit in your car and watch. This takes a split second. Just sit in your car and watch. Yeah. Oh. Oh yeah, that's me. It's my day. My day. You just made their day. It cost you 25 cents. What can you buy for a quarter? And then what does it happen to you? Your heart is so soft and pliable and warm and fuzzy, and it just feels so good. I did this recently. I've been doing it for a while, but I did this recently, and I was parked quite away from the cart return. And every time I've been telling people I do this, they're all saying, I'm going to follow you to the grocery store now, Noel. I don't need my quarters anymore. Anyway, I parked quite a ways away, and this sweet old gentleman, I could see him with his little change purse, and I'm getting into my truck, and he comes all the way over to me, holding out his quarter, and he says to me, oh, you forgot your quarter, dear. And I said, oh, I didn't. I left it there to make someone's day. He gave me a smile that I felt to my toes. You know those smiles, you just kind of bask in it for a few minutes, like, oh, that is so nice, so sweet. He said, well, you just did. My wife and I thank you kindly, good people in the world. Pretty nice. I'm still talking about it. It's months ago. It cost me a quarter. Pretty good investment, right? Recently, I was in a meeting with Doug Schneider, and Doug is my mentor. He definitely helps guide me through my decision-making processes, be it professional or personal. And, we all need those voices of wisdom in our life, and I'm so blessed with my Day of Hope and Leadership team that I can go to them and hash out a problem. But Doug is my guy, and now don't everyone think you can line up at the door before me now. I'm on standby with him. Anyway, I believe that we all need counseling and help. And, when I have a problem to solve, I didn't come with a manual. If you guys got born with a manual, that's awesome. But my life didn't come with a handbook, rule book, manual, nothing. So I got to figure it out. And I refuse to limp through life. So that's why I go and get help. So we're wrestling around this problem. And he says these words to me. He said, Noel, true remorse comes with restitution. Yeah, like he's brilliant, right? See why he's my Doug. True remorse comes with restitution. I'm not going to get into the details of the problem, but those words were rolling around in my head, and I'm driving up Taunton Road to my favorite Starbucks, and I'm thinking about our conversation. I'm letting that sink into me, and I don't see this car that's waiting to get into the Starbucks lineup because it's over here, and I'm coming this way. And I just went right into the Starbucks lineup, and then they came in behind me, and I realized, oh my gosh, they were actually there first. Probably just waiting for me to drive on by. But I just took their spot. So I'm sitting there in my truck. Now, my truck isn't wrapped anymore. It just has a personal plate. That's it. Get hopping. Not even my name. And I'm thinking, okay, I can ignore what I just did. My bad. I could totally ignore it and just move on with my day. Or I can get out of my truck and I can go apologize. What's better for my heart? I got out of my truck and I went over to the car, and you could see that the car was full, and they're looking at me like, what is she doing? She's coming towards us. Is something wrong? You can just see all these thoughts going through their heads. Knock on the window. Hi, I just cut you off. I'm so sorry. My mind was elsewhere. I apologize. I just wanted to come and apologize. And the girl's just looking at me like, wow, this is weird. And she says, it's okay. I don't really think you did. It's all right. Don't worry about it. More or less, going back to your truck. And I'm like, I feel so bad. And the words in my head, right? True remorse comes with restitution. So I said, I'd like to pay for your order. And I'm thinking, of course, this is Starbucks. There's like 3 or 4 people in the car. I need a mortgage to pay for this, but that's okay. Suck it up, Buttercup. So anyway, she said, no, you don't have to do that. And now she's like, you are just weird. Like, go away. And I'm feeling weird. So I did go away. And I went back. I was like, oh, okay, she's sorry. And went back to my truck. And I get in my truck and I'm like, okay. Waiting to feel better, because I did go and apologize. I feel a little bit better, but I still feel, I get to the window and I said to the guy, I'd like to pay for whatever they're having behind me. I cut them off. I didn't mean to, but I did. And so I like to pay for them. And he goes, wow, are you kidding me? No, I didn't give them a Lamborghini. I just want to pay for their coffee. And I've been working here 7 years, full time, and I've never had this happen. And I was like, seriously? Starbucks is a culture founded on social consciousness, and you've never seen anyone do a random act of kindness for the next person in line. Wow. Ouch. He says, yeah, no, never. This is amazing. Like, oh, you got good karma. And he goes all spacey on me and stuff. And he's like telling everybody in the restaurant. I'm like, just shut up. Here's my card. I need to get out of here. So anyway, I pay for what they ordered. It turned out she just had the same thing I had, which was kind of funny. It wasn't like everybody ordered, their box lunch. And I drive home. And now I'm realizing I feel good. I did the right thing. You know that feeling when you know you did the right thing? Checking in with my heart. My heart's good. My heart's soft. My heart is good. I've protected it. I've kept it from getting any of those horrible poisons. And that should be the end of the story, right? Random act, no big deal. I felt good. On I go. You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. That night I'm at home, and my phone goes off. And it's one of those Facebook Messenger requests. And so I look at it, and it's this girl, Sarah. I'm just going to say W. And I'm like, who's Sarah W? So I click to accept the message. Hi, Noel. Just wanted to say thank you again for treating at Starbucks today, even though I don't believe you even cut me off. The guy couldn't stop talking about it. But I want you to know it just shows there really are still nice people in the world. Thank you. 2 things out of that I want you to grab. 2 things. 1, how much time and effort did it take for her to find me? I mean, come on. That was a lot of work. She doesn't know me. I didn't go over and give her my business card. Oh, and by the way, if you're thinking about selling houses, come over and see me. Right? There was none of that. My truck's not wrapped anymore. I have a personal plate, and that is it. And she found me through Facebook. So what a gift that was to me. Can you imagine? It was like a big Christmas present all wrapped up with a big bow. So bless her, right? The second thing is, I validated to her that there are still good people in the world, nice, good people in the world. And I want to yell, yes, Sarah, there are tons of good people in this world. This room is full of them. The problem is, we've been conditioned to play these small, safe little lives. We don't see you anymore. Maybe today's the day you stop playing small and safe, and you take some big chances, some big leaps, putting yourself out there for others. And in the process, you can do a lot for your own heart. At the start of the day, my talk, I told you about this, the heart, right? And that we're going to do a little open heart procedure on all of you today. So if you would indulge me, please. Take that one hand again. But now what I want you to do is link it with your neighbor. Hold them up. There you go. There's your heart. But now it's joined together, all of us. Those are our hearts. The only way we change this world is together. That's how we do it. Thank you, and God bless you all.